Welcome. Settle in, focus up, and get ready for a deep dive. Today, we're exploring an art form that is so much more than just a performance. In this explainer, we're going to unpack the intense cultural depth, the history, and the sheer, unadulterated power of flamenco. I mean, few artistic traditions in the world carry this level of emotional intensity. So let's explore exactly how this incredible tradition came to be and why it continues to captivate the world.
So, what really happens when centuries of hardship, passion, and cultural blending are translated directly into movement and sound? Just think about that for a second. We aren't talking about a highly polished, artificial performance designed purely for light entertainment. No, we're talking about channeling raw human feeling. We're talking about a living, breathing, emotional release where every single stomp, clap, and chord carries the absolute weight of history.
Because flamenco goes way, way beyond our standard definitions of music or dance. It is, at its core, a profoundly powerful form of human expression. You know, words alone can often fail us when we try to communicate deep pain, intense love, profound longing, or explosive joy. Flamenco steps right into that void. Through the movement and the music, it tells these deeply human stories that our spoken languages just can't fully express. It literally gives a voice to the voiceless.
Section 1. The Soul of Andalusia. Okay, let's dive into this. To truly understand flamenco, we have to travel back in time to the sun-baked, historically rich courtyards of Andalusia in southern Spain. Flamenco didn't just appear out of nowhere, right? It's the breathtaking result of complex, deeply intertwined communities. This profound blend of Moorish, Jewish, and Spanish traditions. But the beating heart of it all was heavily shaped by the Roma people, often called Gitanos. For generations, these marginalized communities faced intense discrimination and harsh social exclusion. For them, this blended art form wasn't just a pastime. It was a crucial outlet for resilience, storytelling, and cultural preservation against really overwhelming odds. Actually, fun fact, early authentic flamenco didn't even use guitars. It was purely rhythmic clapping and voice.
Section 2. Anatomy of the performance. The physical and sonic parts.
All right, let's look at the actual mechanics of what happens on stage to make this feel so incredibly spontaneous, dynamic, and undeniably alive. First up is the physical foundation of the dance, the zapateado, or rhythmic foot stomping. It's vital to understand here that the dancer isn't just moving to the music, they are actively creating it. Through their intense footwork, their explosive movements, and that proud, commanding posture, they act as a dramatic percussion instrument. They're interacting directly, beat for beat, with the musicians. It's wild. The dance can be incredibly elegant and graceful one fraction of a second, and then fiercely explosive the next.
Next, we have palmas. And this brilliantly illustrates how something so fundamentally simple can be so incredibly powerful. Palmas is the highly rhythmic hand clapping. Sometimes it's muted and soft, sometimes it's incredibly sharp and bright that you're going to hear in every authentic performance. It's absolutely essential. It acts as the engine room of the performance, maintaining the pulse, driving the fiery energy, and locking the dancers, singers, and guitarists together in a tight, unbreakable rhythmic pocket.
Then, anchoring the melody and the harmony, we have the flamenco guitar. Guys, this instrument is a total chameleon. It's capable of weaving these delicate, heartbreakingly beautiful melodies one moment and then delivering a roaring, fiery intensity the next. Flamenco guitarists utilize insanely complex finger techniques and rapid-fire rhythmic patterns to create rich, emotional textures that wrap entirely around the dancer and the singer. And finally, we get to the vocal soul of flamenco, the cante. This is the deeply expressive, often haunting singing style. Honestly, you could argue that the cante is the most emotionally powerful instrument on the stage. These singers don't just hit notes, they literally tear them out of their souls. They deliver songs with an extraordinary emotional intensity, carrying centuries of sorrow, pride, and resilience, instantly drawing the listener right into their stories of struggle and love.
Section 3. The Mystery of Duende. Pure, raw emotion.
Now, all of these technical elements, the footwork, the clapping, the guitar, the singing, they're really all just vessels waiting to be filled by something much, much greater. And this brings us to the spiritual and emotional climax of our explainer, the very magic that defines the art form itself, duende. Now, it's notoriously difficult to translate precisely into English, but duende is that mysterious emotional force, that heightened state of being where performers and audiences become completely, entirely immersed in the present moment.
It's when the technique fades away and pure, raw emotion just takes over. It's this exact force that transforms a technically proficient performance into a transcendent, unforgettable human experience. You don't just see duende, you feel it right in your chest.
Section 4. A global cultural heritage. Flamenco, worldwide.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the massive evolution flamenco has had onto the world stage, moving far beyond those intense, intimate gatherings in the homes and courtyards of Andalusia. And the year 2010 was a monumental milestone for this. That was the year UNESCO officially recognized flamenco as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity. It was a formal, global acknowledgement of what the people of Andalusia have always known, that flamenco is one of the world's great cultural traditions, a vital piece of our shared human history that absolutely must be protected and celebrated.
And that global celebration has sparked some incredible creativity. Flamenco's massive worldwide footprint has influenced almost every corner of the performing arts. Its rhythms and emotional style have infused jazz, Latin music, classical compositions, and contemporary dance. I mean, surprisingly, Japan actually has more flamenco academies today than anywhere else outside of Spain. Crazy, right? But here's the magnificent part. Despite this worldwide success and constant evolution, flamenco has never lost its fierce emotional authenticity. It remains deeply, deeply connected to its roots.
Section 5. The universal human connection. Our shared human spirit.
So the crucial point is, how does an art form born out of the specific struggles of southern Spain captivate the entire globe? Well, it really comes down to this. Audiences do not need to speak a single word of Spanish to feel the emotion within a flamenco performance. The movements, the haunting cries of the cante, the strike of the guitar, they communicate universal feelings. They cross right over language barriers, generational divides, and cultural borders to speak directly to the human spirit. It truly celebrates our shared identity.
As we bring this explainer to a close, I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Flamenco reminds us that art has the incredible power to preserve memory, to heal emotional wounds, and to bring disparate people together. So ask yourself, if this art form can do all of that, what other cultural traditions around our globe hold that exact same power to unite our human spirit?
There is a whole world of rhythm and emotion out there waiting to be understood. Thank you for joining Sphereblend on this journey. Subscribe to Sphereblend to explore more global musical traditions, customs, and stories.